And welcome to a new video of the series Stigmata, Sigil, Understanding It. So in this one we will focus on understanding different types of Sigil or Stigmata that's available for us to select. Now in order for you to enter and see the Stigmata you have two ways in the game. We'll focus on one way for this video. After you click on your hero and then you click on her or his Stigmata, then you go to filter, you'll be able to see the different types that the game has. You have Banshee, Boss, Apocalypse, Judgment, Evolution, Annihilation, and the list carries on until Mirage, the new one available. Now, there are different types, and there is a small text description that's written under each one of them to explain its attribute. Its attribute, not its statuses, the attributes. So Banshee, counter damage taken by the hero. It does a counter and part of the damage is reflected. If we click on it and then click on the Stigmata itself or the Sigil, you'll be able to see what exactly does it do. Now it says at 6 stars, 50% chance to reflect with damage equal to 40% of incoming damage, which pretty much means when you are attacked and you take damage, there is a percentage chance that part of that damage will be reflected back to who attacked your hero. If you've ever been in a battle and suddenly you're starting to attack and you take damage even before anyone uses their skill from the enemies, it's related to Banshee. It's a counter damage, so when your heroes have taken damage, there is a percentage that you can reflect back that damage. Next is Boss. Boss pretty much basic attack deals percentage HP damage. What does that mean? It means every time one of your heroes attacks the enemy, there is a percentage of damage that's added to attack. It's over all the attack pretty much. That will be equal to 6% of target's max HP. The max damage is no more than 600% of the attack. So you can consider it an attack booster, and you can consider it formulates itself based on your target's HP. You're looking at 6% of the target's max HP. So if you're talking about it in numbers, let's say the HP of the enemy is 100%, 6% out of the full HP, if it's 10 million, blah, 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 except if it's 100 million, it will be 6 million, for instance, and so on, numbers like that. And that amount of damage cannot exceed 600% of the overall attack that your hero can do when attacking with their normal attack. So it's 6% out of the 100%. So if the 100% is, let's say, 1,000, calculate 6% out of that. Now moving on to the next one. Apocalypse skill deals true damage to the enemy. What does that mean? It means when one of your heroes uses her special skill attack, the skill causes an additional damage. So if the attack gives you 5 million damage, there is an additional damage added to that number. Skill additionally causes 3 times 50% true damage ignoring armor. When the target has shields, skill additionally causes 150 true damage ignoring armor. What does that mean? It means pretty much if you have Thinker, for instance, and he has his shields and everyone has shields all over them, you'll be able to cause more damage by Apocalypse, and the damage is multiplied by 3. Right? And of course, there is the 50% true damage, which means it will ignore the shield and actually increase if there's a shield. It will ignore the armor of the enemy and just do the same number of damage calculated as it should anyway. Next is Judgment. Judgment pretty much increases your attack. What does that mean? It means very much that if you go to your hero and go to the statuses and go to the attack directly, it will increase directly this number. So you'll be able to do more damage, more attack with your more damage with your normal basic attack. Evolution will increase the number of HP your hero has. Annihilation will increase the damage that they cause when they use their skill. Okay, not their attack, their skill. Samurai is what's recommended always for Toku because it has a percentage of attacking again after doing one basic attack. So the more it's triggered, the more Toku can keep on attacking like a flow of river, water. Next is Redemption. What does Redemption do? It gives you the opportunity or the percentage that after your hero is killed or dies, to resurrect that hero again by using the Stigmata. It's pretty much the same of what exactly Einstein does. The only difference is it is a percentage. It might work, it might not work. The next one is Sin Armor Penetration. Armor Penetration I've been testing before this video. Pretty much if you select it, you will get the attributes that it gives you, which is here the attack or speed and HP, and then you have the armor pierce plus 15. This specific one, armor pierce, does not increase your armor penetration. Armor penetration, from what I can see, comes from your equipment and comes from if you equip an artifact, and comes from also um, upgrading the special equipment of the hero. So it has nothing to do with you selecting Sin and suddenly you're gonna increase the statuses of the armor penetration. So pretty much what it will give you is the attributes it has: attack or speed, HP, critical damage. It will increase those attributes, but it will not increase armor penetration. So what will happen is this armor penetration number will be added during the battle only. You cannot see it in the statuses in the first place. As you can see, there is no armor penetration added. Now it might be a bug, I don't know, and I'm not gonna look into it. There's no reason. The game already has too much for the brain to function, so report it as a bug if you want. Next is Maniac, increasing critical, right? So critical pretty much, and if you equip it directly, you will actually see it increases your critical. Critical is the ability to land a critical. What is a critical being landed? A critical being landed on the enemy means you'll be able to cause more damage. So landing criticals during a battle will improve the damage the hero can do. Next, critical is pretty much it. That's it. The ability to land a critical will allow you to cause more damage to the enemy, and that is all it can do. Next is Vital. Vital pretty much deals damage, while at the same time it gives you a bonus of damage and helps your hero to recover HP. Vital is fantastic if you use it on Moonlight Paladin Julian. When she attacks and causes damage, okay, there will be an increase. By the way, the strongest one I have is 4, so it doesn't show the full range of how far it can go, but we're talking about an increase in damage. Deal 100% as attack as bonus true damage and recover HP equal to 150% of the attack. So the higher you attack and cause damage, the higher the recovery of HP will happen. And the recovery effect helps that every time you attack, you cause extra damage and recover HP all in one go. And its true damage means it directly will cause damage to the enemy. That's the best I can give you related to that true damage. Next is Guardian. Guardian pretty much is useless for many reasons, but still okay if you're in a long battle and you're using it on Thinker or a tank. If each time your hero, or at least once, he needs to receive 10 times of being attacked from the same hero, same enemy, the damage they take will be reduced by 8% for 2 rounds. Doesn't have to be the same enemy hero that's attacking you. The main point is your hero needs to be attacked 10 times for it to be activated. If you're still alive at that point, when it's activated, there is a reduction in damage. That's why people use it on Thinker. If he gets attacked 8 times, one after the other, round after round, those 8 times then will trigger the Guardian and he will gain a reduction in damage. Assault. What does Assault do? Assault pretty much, each time you attack, the Assault or the Striker, if you remember the old name, it will cause damage before your attack, and then after you attack, it can cause more damage if you use it on, for instance, Godslayer. So the damage output is increased a couple of times, many times, 100% of attack damage to a random enemy, and it can load up a number of times, up to 7 times per round. Wow. So pretty much you're looking at an increase in damage output, a 100% of the attack you can do, and it gets multiplied a couple of times, and you can see that on the Godslayer. Now if you go to the upper one, 6-star Stigmata, there's going to be an increase above the damage you can even deal, 125, and you can deal it up to 7 times. So we're talking about an increase in damage output a couple of times. Now moving on to Dark Assassin. Dark Assassin, pretty much when you launch a basic attack or cast a skill, it also deals additional damage equals to 100% of attack to one of the targets, and there's a 40% chance to boosting the damage to 200% of the attack. Now, Dark Assassin in its upper level 6 stars, it can boost the damage to 400 or 600, I think, output of the attack. So, what does that mean, pretty much? It means if the God Slayer does 10 million damage, imagine that number goes up to 400% from that number, increased. So 10 can go 400, above 400, even 400 million by using Dark Assassin. Of course, other factors are taken into account: the hero's shields, the hero's armor, the hero's HP, if you get even a chance to attack that much. But the main point is it multiplies the attack, and the percentage gets broken in upper level Dark Assassin above 100 and 200, etc. etc. Of course, there's a chance, a 40% chance, and it increases the more the star level increases, so it's not a set deal in each attack. Unlike Assault, every time you attack, it will trigger itself and will automatically be applied, and you can see it as a flaring red looking strike happening. Next one, Phantom. Now, Phantom does have its appeal. You would use it on your tanks. You would use it on Lucas, for instance. It blocks the damage you take, regardless of how much or what. For one attack in the first round, that damage is negated. You pretty much take no damage. And that's pretty much what Phantom does. Inflame, right? Which I have none of it, which is a problem, unfortunately. It deals additional damage when the round ends, so Inflame deals burning damage at the end of each round. Succubus, which unfortunately I haven't opened one of them. I do have one, but I haven't opened it. It boosts your hero's CC ability. CC is crowd control. Lady Ivy, Rockefeller use crowd control amongst other heroes. Crowd control is the ability to control the enemy, like how Succuba uses her charm. What will that do? The enemy will be either slower or will take more damage, or will be tangled or paralyzed more easier. Now the final one is Mirage. Mirage pretty much gives you 3 stacks of Mirage energy at the start of the battle. When attacked, you consume 1 stack of Mirage energy and convert it into 1 stack of Mirage shield, blocking 20% of damage. What does that mean? It means you have like 3 mini shields at the beginning of the battle. When you're attacked, each one of those Mirage energy is converted into a shield, and 20% of that damage is not taken. You block it completely of the attack you have received. Now, Mirage at upper level beyond the 3 stars, we're talking about 6. These numbers will increase, and pretty much the stack will carry on with you after it has been converted into shields, so it will continue to block the damage for the remaining part of the entire battle. The benefit of it pretty much is the reduction in damage you can take, and will allow you to continue longer in the battle. So you're talking about 20% of the damage negated, you take nothing of it, or more actually. Depends on the 6 stars. So that would be pretty much all the Stigmata in the game. One last point we can add, and I will show you that I do have one card for the CC Succubus. One last thing we can add, it doesn't matter what you select per se. It's not only selecting Stigmata, each Stigmata has attributes in its own. The main attribute, right, counter damage taken by the hero. Now if you select it, you'll only be able to see the Stigmata related to the one you select. And if you click on the placing itself, you'll see what is available to be placed. So its main attribute, 50% chance to reflect with damage equal to 40% of incoming damage. At the same time, it has attributes. The second point. Critical damage resistance +2, critical damage resistance +6, armor +6. So different Stigmata have, even in its own self, have different attributes. One can have attack, one can have damage reduction, armor penetration, HP, different attributes that you can add to your hero. So for instance, if you want to speed up your hero, you would actually equip them with Stigmata that has more speed. So you would search amongst the same Stigmata you're gonna be using and change it. Always it's better to go for a percentage. Let's show it on Samurai. Right, I have another one Samurai. Speed plus 7, attack plus 7%. This one is HP, and skill damage. This one will actually make the hero that's equipped with faster in acting. This one, HP, and attack. And this one, accuracy plus 20%, attack plus 800, debuff hit plus 7. So the attributes, as you can see, even in the same slot, can be completely different. And some have speed, others have different attributes. Now to see the overall statuses of all the Stigmata you equipped, you would go to status overview. You can see the HP, the critical, the debuff resistance, the block, the attack, skill damage, the attack, the debuff hit, the accuracy, damage reduction, and critical. So what would happen if we remove one of these? As you can see, the numbers have completely changed and they keep changing based on what's being equipped. So for instance, if we decide to equip boss, let's select boss and add boss. Right, and then go back. You'll see that the attributes now are completely different in the numbering and the type. And if you change it again, let's go with, let's see, Apocalypse, for instance. Let's add 2 Apocalypse. Here's one, and here's the other. So now the numbers are down, but the attack actually is up, if you noticed. It's kind of up. So the status overview that you can add to your hero from the Stigmata do make a huge difference. And let's show how big of a difference it can be. We were at 11 million, right? Let's just remove the Stigmata series, all of them. We're at 8 million now. So that increase in bonus that we have fully comes from the Stigmata. Talking about 8, and then we're gonna equip all our Stigmata back again. That's the second, and then we're gonna go for the third, and then the fourth, and then we have 2 from Sin. That's 1, and that's the other. See that? We're at 11. Also, some Stigmata actually affect directly the numbers you can see here, especially the critical resistance, critical damage, and critical damage resistance, skill damage. You also have your debuff hit, debuff resistance, and accuracy, block, damage reduction. Those are all affected directly by your selection of Stigmata and are affected by your T2 residence attribute, affected also by the artifact you equip. Let's unequip this. As you can see, the numbers have went down. The critical has really taken a hit. If we equip it again, we gained attack, and at the same time the critical has increased. 86, again for you to see. 56. So the artifacts plays an important role. Also, what you upgrade your heroes' exclusive equipment up to what level exactly. Why? Because each level gives you more HP and attack and accuracy. So the more upgrades your hero takes, the more it does a difference. Also, awakening the skill, this awakened skill also makes a difference. Now, another thing that does affect directly the attributes is the gemstones you have equipped. Why? Let's have a look at why. When you equip stones and you upgrade them, and also you upgrade the level of them, you will gain bonus HP, critical damage resistance, armor, and so on. Now, in looking at the lovely gems we have, you can see that it has attributes of its own: attack and armor, HP, accuracy, critical resistance, and so on. So the Stigmata plus the gems plus the artifact plus the equipment all make a difference. If you can see here, there is attributes: HP, skill damage, HP, and HP. If you try to reforge it, right? Let's try, why not? You'll notice that these attributes change. They can go down, which is usually what happens, and the rating of the artifact itself goes down. And it should go up after you try a couple of times. So let's recast again. And we are in no luck, pretty much. So in terms of recasting, pretty much you want the attributes to be at a percentage. For instance, HP plus 3%, skill damage plus 7.5%. When you screwed up like me, do not save unless you want to lose that good looking skill damage plus 7.5%. Advanced recast might help you a little in at least maintaining that attribute while you're trying to change the other attributes to a percentage attribute. Sometimes the best that you can get is A. Other times, if you try hard enough and wish hard enough, you might come to an S. And at an S, you pretty much will have all the attributes at a percentage, usually. You can always do what I did recently in one of the events of buy the Legendary Plus armor, Legendary Plus equipment. It will give you all attributes at rating S. As you can see, they are all at percentage. So, yeah, that's the second one. I got two, so this is the second one. All the attributes, and as soon as you upgrade directly the equipment, it will go directly to S. You should not recast it or advance recast it. So as they are all in S, they are the best that you can get without actually, well, paying pretty much. You just have to burn 9k diamonds in an event that has it. Aside from that, this is pretty much how you should understand Stigmata and manage it. What you need is what you should equip your hero, and what the hero benefits from should be the Stigmata they use. For instance, I'll give you one last example. We have here Chloros, Desert Queen. Now, her attack has a fantastic benefit of being given Apocalypse. So if she causes 4 million times 4, times 4, times 4. So you're gonna get 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and another 3 times showing when she uses her special skill. 3 times 50% true damage, ignoring armor. So that actually causes an increase directly in the damage when she uses her special skill. And I'm also using here, as you can see, Judgment for increasing her attack and speed, and damage reduction for reducing the damage she takes. This will pretty much allow her to cause the same amount of damage times a couple of times itself. So if it's 10, let's say it's 10 million, she'll cause, well, 30 or 40 million with that damage. I've seen a player who attacks and causes 26 million damage, and 26 plus 26 plus 26, you will see 4 times 26 million showing in front of your eyes. So Apocalypse is fantastic to use on her. Toku is fantastic to use, Samurai, and so on. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Definitely I'll see you in another video of the series related to Stigmata. We covered in this series the different types of Stigmata available, the status overview and how you should understand it. Of course, we will go in another video of what in God's name is this. In terms of increasing it, I mentioned it's related to the equipment being upgraded to T2, and then you select the residence status, residence attribute. The residence status is what you're going to select as a skill, and different heroes benefits from a different type of selection, right? And that will automatically increase the statuses. Also, the equipment you add to the hero makes a difference. This one gives attack and critical. Advancing and increasing the equipment, the special equipment of the hero, exclusive equipment, will give more attributes. This one will give HP and attack and accuracy. For a different hero, you'll see something completely different. HP, attack, and armor penetration. So every hero has something specific he benefits from being added to them. And of course, the Stigmata adds also to the attributes over all of the hero. The gem being equipped also adds and being upgraded to the statuses. And like that, now you can understand more of your hero. And of course, the relics also, I forgot to mention that. It plays an important role in being equipped, upgraded to T1, and its level upgraded to level 60. You can see here that there's a critical damage, damage reduction, armor penetration, attack, etc. etc. If we remove all of them, so you can see the difference, pretty much Toku's main power comes from a number of things. The relics, the gems, the stigmata, right? We're down at 7 million. So what will happen if we also remove the stigmata? Just to showcase you how important the selection is. Now we're at 6 million. Okay, what will happen if we also remove the gems? Now we're at 5 million. So what will happen if we remove and equip also our gear? We're now at 4 million. What will happen if we also remove, well, the artifact? We stripped her naked, pretty much. So without anything at all, she is just with her exclusive 3 million. Also, do take into account the bonus overview also comes from the Union tech and the faction wanted, HP and attack, etc., and different attributes when it's fulfilled and completed to the max. Auto equip, this takes to 4. And then let's finish off this video with giving her back her stuff so you can see the massive difference that's gonna happen and her overall power. And then the next one. And then the last remaining one. And then we're gonna add the stigmata. Let's add this one. And then this wing stigmata. Now she's at 8. Let's give her Eden space. She's at 10. Let's embed. Yeah, I always like that animation, honestly. Okay, 11 million. So this will pretty much give you a clear understanding of how important the stigmata is, how important upgrading the equipment to T2, how important the artifact is, and how important upgrading the gems is. You can get an HP plus 5%, an attack plus 5%, and an HP plus 5%, and all these lovely attributes by upgrading the level and upgrading, of course, the gem itself. These are 1, 2, 3. Well, the majority are at 3 stars, and a number of them have reached 4. This is at 4, and this one is at 4. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'm happy that we finally fulfilled and finished the questions about the different types of stigmata available. And part of looking at the statuses and how to understand them, we'll go over all of this at a different time. And definitely I'll see you tomorrow in the upcoming events. Halloween and different things are coming. And we're also gonna be live streaming tomorrow a completely different game as a change of pace. For now, well, it's time for it to end with summoning. Sacred Wheel, also time for it to end. And like that, we fulfilled part of the Stigmata series, finally, the longest part. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Definitely I'll see you in an upcoming one. Have a great day ahead.